Every year, Human Rights Watch produces an annual report detailing the most oppressive places on earth. This is not where this year's report was supposed to be launched. With a focus this year on China, they'd planned to be in Hong Kong, but the head of the organisation, Ken Roth, was barred entry.
Sadly, as I arrived here, the Chinese government decided it didn't want to let me in. So even though I've been able to enter Hong Kong freely before, this time, for the first time, they blocked me.
Instead, he flew to the UN in New York, where he gave details of China's repression that perhaps the authorities there didn't want the world to hear. It goes beyond violence against protesters in Hong Kong and the detention camps in Xinjiang.
This is the most severe period of repression that we've seen in decades in China, probably going back to the Cultural Revolution or an era like that. Xinjiang is the worst, where 1 million or more Uighur and Turkic Muslims are in detention for forced indoctrination, basically to pressure them to renounce Islam and their cultural traditions and even their language.
At the end of the news conference, a Chinese diplomat who'd been sitting at the back of the room came to the front to condemn Human Rights Watch.
The report is full of prejudices and fabrications, and ignore the factual information provided by my government repeatedly for all these years.
It all raises the question, is the international community speaking out enough? I asked the spokesperson for the UN Secretary-General about the decision to bar Mr. Roth from entering Hong Kong.
As a matter of principle, we support the right and the work of human rights defenders throughout the world.
It's comments like that Human Rights Watch say need to be much tougher. They say the United Nations and the entire international community must denounce failings on human rights by China and others. They say it's one of the few ways to change behaviour. James Bays, Al Jazeera at the United Nations.